participants in the group. Now you all can just introduce yourself here. You can write your name, you can type it in the chat box, you can so Kiran is saying, hello everyone, I'm Kiran from Mirpur, Sindh. Thank you for joining, Kiran from Sindh. Well, I'm from Peshawar, so I'm joining from here. I'm Fatma from Rawalpindi. That's great to know. Muqaddas Saeed from Islamabad. Nice to have you here. Parveen from Gujarat. Oh, that's nice. Ashraf, your mic is unmuted. Please mute yourself. Harshit Sarfaraz from Lahore. Aksa Abid from Sialkot. Mohammad Zubair from Jang Sadr. Tawseek Haider from Islamabad. So we have people from, all around Pakistan, and that is great. Zahibuddin from Nawab Shah. Umme Habiba from Gujranwala, that's great. Sarah Beg from Gilgit Baltistan, that's very nice. Yeah, so you all can just keep the messages coming. I'm Sulaiman from Peshawar. We have people from Kashmir, Faisalabad, Gujranwala, from Islamabad. That's great. You all can, connect and, just make the session interactive because you all are a very diverse group of participants that I can see. We have people from Chitral, Uganda. Hello, Samuel from Uganda. Nice to have you here. Mahmoud from Center of Africa. That is great. Maqsood Ahmad from Okara. Nice to have you, Maqsood. Just one more minute and then we'll officially begin the session. Muhammad Idris Khan from Malakand. Ashraf Ali from Gilgit. Spukmai Khan from Peshawar. Ayub from Kashmir. That is great. Faryal from Hyderabad, Sindh. Okay, so the participants who are joining, they can write their names in the chat box and the city from where they belong to, and then we can officially begin the session. Awaz from Kasur, Adil from Islamabad. Great to have you all here in the session. I believe that this is going to be a very interactive session based on the people. We have a son from Ardan, that is great. You are from a village, that is great. Aradhana from Karachi. That is a great name though. So we will officially begin the session because we are 5 minutes ahead of our time. Let me introduce myself first. I hope that I'm audible. You can type it in the chat box. Yes, audible. So I am Nurulan. I'm a recent graduate in biotechnology, and I am a sort of person that, always motivates myself to learn new things because I'm working on my personal and professional, what can you say, building is really important for me. I find it quite, amusing to work on myself and learn and grow. I'm a part of the PYBN network. I will introduce the PYBN in a few minutes. Just take a few minutes. I'm a part of the PYBN as a district coordinator, Peshawar. I'm a part of their working group and the content writing group. I hope that everyone today will have a great session because the topic that we're going to discuss is such a crucial topic, especially nowadays and especially for the youth of Pakistan. So, why all of you have gathered today is for a purpose, for a cause. And before going into that purpose or cause or discussing that, I would like to, so the first question is how government can play their role to beat plastic pollution. That is the topic for our day, that government's role in beating plastic pollution. And you have a Mentimeter linked in the chat box that is from the Earth. Am I not audible, Zuhair? If I'm not audible, somebody can speak up, and then I think, Zuhair, it's an issue on your end. Yeah, so there is a link in the chat box to the Mentimeter. What you can do is you can go to that link, you can submit your answer, and then we will reveal all of the answers in few minutes. Sounds audible and clear. Thank you so much. Zohaib, I think you haven't connected to the audio. Yes, he hasn't connected to the audio. Can someone please tell him? Let me just connect to the audio. There are many people in the meeting that who haven't connected to the audio. Please just let them know if they can connect to the audio. These are Adil, Salahuddin, Samuel, Spugmet, Tawseek, Wajid, and Shahid. 7 people in the chat box. Can somebody please mention them? I hope the host can mention them, join from the audio. So the question was, government can play their role to beat plastic pollution, and we already have 4 answers, but I want everyone to go to the Mentimeter link. That is this link. Respond to the question here and the mentimeter.com. Yes, thank you. The earth needs love, and you can respond to the answer. So there are a few answers, 6 of them. I will read them. Totally ban it. Yeah, that is what should be. And for the use in the future, you can totally ban it. But what about the remaining plastics that you've already used and dumped? Where shall they go? Strictly ban on plastic bags. I agree. Ban with high tax on plastic production. Consumer can't buy. Yes. But these are huge industries, the plastic industries, and you need to think of a way how can government do that, and maybe we can work on that. Reduce, reuse, recycle, awareness. Recycling the plastic, fight against plastic pollution, making legislative and infrastructure investments in the recycling. That is such an amazing answer. What you can also raise your hand and answer the question if you want to. If you haven't submitted your answer on the menti.com, you can raise your hand and you can just give the answer. We appreciate you giving the answer. You can unmute yourself and you can, give an answer. Nisaf is saying 5 hours. Nisaf, can you describe the 5 hours for everyone? Because we know there are 3 hours: reduce, reuse, recycle. What are the 2 remaining hours? Nisaf. So I'll just keep on reading the other stuff while Nisaf can write down the remaining 2 hours and let people know what they are. Government should make reliable and strict policies to control plastic pollution because, it should be banned around the countries. Government is most important authority to play role in this regard by empowering agencies like EPA. That is very true. Enough to penalize plastic polluters. Government can play its role well. Next is through social media campaigns. And just like many other campaigns, this session is also a campaign on beat plastic pollution. So yes, you can do such things. Anybody who is willing to answer, by unmuting yourself, please, you can raise your hand. Yes, Maqsood Ahmed, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Maqsood, you can unmute yourself and
मैडम मैं मकसूद बोल रहा हूँ, मैं चेयरमैन हूँ पोटैटो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट बोर्ड पंजाब का, और भी कई ज़रूरी तंजीमों से मेरा ताल्लुक है। ये फौरी तौर पर बैन लगाना भी बहुत मुश्किल होता है। मैं समझता हूँ कि ये म्यूनसिपल कमेटीज़ का काम होता है अवेयरनेस देना, तो सूबाई गवर्नमेंट म्यूनसिपल कमेटीज़ को के ज़िम्मे लगाए कि वो अपनी इस मामले में अवेयरनेस दें और लोग आस्ता आस्ता इसको रिड्यूस करें। फौरी तौर पर बंद करना भी मुश्किल होगा, फौरी तौर पर पाबंदी लगानी भी मुश्किल होगी। तो ये उसके अलावा महकमा ज़राअत के लोग हैं, जितने भी सरकार के लोग हैं, एनवायरमेंटल वाले हैं, कि जो मीटिंग सरकारी होती है उसमें थोड़ी थोड़ी अवेयरनेस दें, लोगों को ये बताया जाए कि ये प्लास्टिक का इस्तेमाल अच्छा नहीं है और इसको आस्ता आस्ता कम कर दें। बहुत मेहरबानी, आपने मुझे टाइम दिया।
Thank you so much, Maqsood. We are, honored to have you here, having someone as a chairman in this group, in this session. Everyone can learn from him, everyone can connect to him and network. Abdullah Aryan is saying no sound because you haven't connected to the audio. You can let me just reply to them because Azhar Khan wants to say something. Yes, Asghar, go ahead.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैडम, मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि वी शुड स्विच ऑन टू द प्लांट बेस्ड प्रोडक्ट्स। इसमें ये मजरी फार्म जिसे हम कहते हैं, मेजरे कहते हैं, निनोरेपस रिचियाना उसका बोटनिकल नेम है, तो उससे बहुत से प्रोडक्ट्स बनते हैं, उससे तेले वगैरह भी बन सकते हैं। तो अगर हम प्लांट
Asghar, you are not audible. Is it just me or everyone cannot hear Asghar?
Yeah, I cannot hear him either. And he has muted himself as well.
Asghar, can you hear us? Okay,
you are audible. I was talking about that the government should switch over to the plant-based product. We must use plant-based products such as Mazari farm is a plant from where such type of products are made easily. So if we switch over to these products, so we can reduce plastic pollution at a huge scale.
That is nice. That is a great idea. Going ahead with Kiran Raj. Yes, Kiran Raj, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible. So I completely agree with what Maqsood sir said, and after that, the plan thing, I agree with that. But as the question is like how government can play their role to beat plastic pollution, I think the main and the most impactful way would be starting with basic steps in a country like Pakistan, because we are a developing country, so we can not just jump to higher ways to stop and beat the plastic pollution. I suggest to start with awareness, because it's something people really require, especially as I belong to Sindh, and in a province like Sindh, there's no I'll not say no, but still there's less awareness about things like sustainable goals and sustainability and renewable energy and plastic pollution. People actually don't know that does that means. So I think awareness is the first step that government government can actually think about. And secondly, when people are actually aware about what is actually plastic pollution is, and then we can go for other ways to beat the plastic pollution, as promoting the renewable energy. And above all, because it's particularly talking about plastic pollution, so I would suggest that it's important to invest in waste management and recycling, because of course when we are talking about plastic, so whatever comes in our home, in everybody's home, I think we are 71 people here, and we all buy groceries. In a country like Pakistan, we use plastic bags usually. So it's important to recycle those bags. It's important to segregate your waste in your homes, that it is the plastic cap and this is plastic bottle, this will be reused and recycled in a different way. So of course recycling is a wonderful way to beat plastic pollution. What government can do for it is that they can of course start campaigns, and of course by creating awareness and then promoting strategies that how we can actually promote recycling. And government can implement waste management programs that promotes recycling and composting, um, and this will actually help the environmental education and awareness. So this is what I think about. But apart from that, I definitely agree with whatever people said before me. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Kiran. That was a beautiful insight, because I think that is the key issue. I would say that most of the people, when they use plastic, they don't actually know where it comes from and where it goes. Where does it end up? Like, we should ask ourselves just one time that the plastic we use, where does it end up? And the answer would be in our food chain. You inhale it, you ingest it, and there is where the diseases come from, and so many other problems related to that. So once you know the consequences of those, you will never ever use such a thing again. But again, this will only come with awareness, and who has to take the responsibility for the awareness, because there are many NGOs and non-profit organizations that are working for it continuously. But I think we need the government support more than anyone else. Yes, Saqib.
Hello.
Hi, Saqib. Yes, you're audible.
In my perception, plastic is a big problem in today's world, and this problem needs attention in order to secure safe future for our upcoming generations. Though some things are done to cure this problem, but more work is needed to be done. Like we can spread awareness among people, and greater initiatives by business giants and scientists need to be taken in order to eliminate plastic from our day-to-day lives. We must implement the reduce, reuse, recycle policy, and more that uh, invent some better alternatives to prevent plastic use at basic level. And hopefully, implementation of this project effectively will help us to cure this problem.
Yes, Saqib, you are absolutely right. We need a research-based knowledge. We
And
need a
the problem in today's world is that everybody keeps on talking about their rights. Nobody talks about their duties.
yes, that is a major issue, I would say. Thank you so much, Saqib, for your insights. So now that we are talking about the government's role in beating plastic pollutions, and we have such great responses, I would like to ask a simple question: that what do you think about the policy making of your government? Like, if you would scale it on a scale from 0 to 10, how good or how bad is it? Because most of you are from Pakistan, I would like to know your insights about it. Because when you talk about the government's role, the government can only play its role if they make policies and implement them. Sometimes they do make policies, but do they really implement them? Like, you can see on a scale of 0 to 10 how good or how bad is the policy making of your country, and especially when it comes to the crucial detrimental effects that we are facing, such as climate change. So Tausik is saying governments can invest in waste management infrastructure, including recycling facilities and waste collection systems to ensure proper disposal and recycling of plastic waste. See, there are many solutions to this, because if there are 82 people in this group and everybody comes up with a single solution, there will be 82 solutions. But how would you design them? How would you implement them? Do you really think that the policy making in our country is effective? What do you think about the policy making of your country? If I talk about myself, I'm not really quite happy with the policy making or the policy implementation in this country. You can raise your hands, you can, type it in the chat box, you can scale it from 0 to 10, how happy or how sad are you about it, or how good. Yeah, 2 by 10, Muhammad Idris Khan. See, everybody can, just scale it from 0 to 10, or they can unmute themselves and talk about it. 2 by 10, Amal Khan, Irfan. 4 by 10, I hate this. 5 out of 10, Faryal Malik. 2 out of 10, Aksa. 4 out of 10. Yes, we will show the PPT in a few minutes. I am the moderator of the session, and I hope that the speaker, when she joins, she has a technical issue, and then we'll begin with the presentation too. 2 by 10, Umme Habiba. 2 by 10, Awaz. 4 by 10, Spokmai. 4 by 10, Aliza. 3 by 10, Saqib. 5 by 10, Laiba. Zammil Ali. 3 by 10. 2 by 10. See, we are not going ahead of 5. And how many people in this group has stated 5? 2 of them. The majority lies in 2 and 3 and 4. We are not happy with the policy making of the government. We are not happy with the policy implementation of the country. And can you state any reason why? Can somebody state any reason why? If government isn't able to do this, what is the issue for them? Yes, Abdul Rahman.
Assalamualaikum to all. I hope you all are good. I want to comment a thing. What is the basic problem behind this? That why people are commenting or giving 2 or 3 ranking to the policy making of person. I think the major issue is that our every city is not developed. We have some cities which are very developed, and like Lahore, Karachi, and Islamabad, and we have very backward areas like Quetta. You can include these areas. So it is difficult because there is a lot of division between the people thinking and your thoughts. So it will be difficult for the government to implement this policy because every area of the Pakistan is not equivalent.
Yes, Abdul Rahman, I totally agree with you. They need to look at the root cause of the things, of how, what sort of environment are they facing, what sort of city are they going, what sort of surrounding it is, and then they should work on things. Aradhana and Bilkis, if you have something to say, you may, and if you don't have anything to say, can you please unmute your mics? And next we
So,
will take Samuel Toligo. You can respond to the question.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, you're
Am I audible
audible.
enough? Hello.
Yes, you're audible, Samuel. Go ahead.
My contribution is the government should promote producer responsibility. Hello? By encouraging manufacturers. Hello?
Yes, you're audible. Go ahead.
Like the government
Yes,
should
you are
promote.
audible. You speak.
Hello?
You're
Audible.
audible.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Like what I'm saying, the government must promote extended producer responsibility by encouraging manufacturers to take responsibility for the entire life cycle of their products. This includes designing products for recyclable and implementing take-back programs to ensure proper disposal or recycling. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can understand the problem, although you are from a different country. And same is from Hana, that says awareness of waste management is very low in the northern part of Nigeria. So apart from Pakistan, many other developing countries and underdeveloping countries are facing the same issue. How much awareness is there for waste management across the country? Ask Dr. Shahid Adil. Well, if you ask me, then there would be quite a little uh, awareness for waste management across the country. And most of the awareness comes from either youth or entrepreneurs or nonprofit organizations, but not any that I know from the government, So that is our major topic for today, the government's role in beating plastic pollution. Government of Nigeria too is not focusing on making sure country waste is managed, but focus on see, that's the ultimate problem of Pakistan too. Somebody mentioned earlier too that we beat about the bush. We do things that are not meant to be done, and we don't do things that are meant to be crucially done. And that is where the lack of knowledge and lack of policies and lack of implementation comes from. And we've been through the floods of 2022. I don't know what to say more about that, but everybody can envision how worst they were in the history of the world. They were dedicated as the worst floods in the country. And in this Asian region, still we couldn't find solutions to it. How many of you think our government is working on the policies for floods? Like, throughout the history, Pakistan has seen more than 25 floods and nothing that we could do about it. Still, we faced floods of 2022, and still we are not doing anything about it in the future. Like, we go through things we do not do about it in the future. Why? Like, why is our government turning a blind eye towards it? Maybe they think it is not important, but it is important. The thing is making them realize it is important. The future of our country depends upon it. The future of our generations depend upon it. How can it not be important enough to be addressed? Government will not do anything. People have to do it. See, that is what I'm saying, that either the youth does it, either the entrepreneurs do it, either the NGOs do it. And where is our government? They aren't actually doing anything about it. So somebody has a raised hand. If anybody wants to speak up, they can, or else I'll just proceed further. So, yes, Steve, you can unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening. It's actually evening where I am. I'm Steve from Kenya. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you're audible. Yes, Steve, you're audible.
Oh, you can
Yes,
hear
you
me?
are audible.
It's
Yes.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm actually loving the conversation, and it's really exciting to be in this meeting. And my take would be on pollution, on plastic pollution. Is that it's a menace to society, and the problem is there and it should be dealt with accordingly to ensure that issues of environment and the climate change are realized. So for my country, I would scale in terms of the scaling that you were talking about earlier. I would say you actually said from 0 to 10. I would give it. I would give my country 0 to 4. This is because the policies are there, but the implementation is poor. Not effective. So I think there should be proper disposal of plastic bags, and I think the government should also have resources put in place to sensitize individuals on the importance of waste management. So there should be awareness, and everyone should be responsible. Everyone should be, take initiative to ensure that our surrounding is safe, our surrounding is clean. If you have a plastic, or maybe you bought something, you are using a plastic bag or maybe a container, you should ensure that it is recycled, or you just don't dump it. Anyhowly, where it could litter the surrounding and maybe later become a mess. So I really love the conversation. I'm still in the meeting and hoping to get to learn more and more on waste management of the plastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much. Whatever you said was totally on point. Moving on to Jamaica, is if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. If
my
she
name?
has- No, not yours.
Sorry?
You're done. Steve.
Okay. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Jamaica, is it your name? I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, I want to appreciate you guys. You're doing a very good job. I'm speaking from Lagos, Nigeria. You see, what I feel is in Lagos, where I came from, there's a lot of provisions. So we have the policies, we have the laws, but these policies are not working. Government is very weak when it comes to implementing the policies as far as keeping the environment very clean. The issue is this: when the environment is dirty, it will not just affect humans, it also affects the animals. I think I saw what the government in Rwanda they are doing. They did a very good job. Rwanda is very new because they place a ban on plastic. If in Lagos too, our government can also try to ensure that the use of plastic is banned. I think it will better the environment. And I would like you people to also intervene in Lagos and to ensure that we have a very peaceful and inclusive environment for the survival of animals.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for expressing your thoughts. Samuel, I would take a chance, but first let me take the session forward and then I will come back to you and you can say your thoughts, okay? So I'm still reading the charts and people are still scoring the government policies and implementation, like Awaz is 5 out of 10, Dr. Shahid Adil is 5 out of 10, Shah Mahmood is 4 out of 10. See, that is, we now know that what the major problem is. So studying about the topic is going to be much more easier because you know the target areas, you know the problem areas, and you know the solutions. But what we really want to work is to make them bring into action. So let me take this session forward. For all of these people who have joined later, let me tell you that today's topic for the session is government's role in beating plastic pollution. And the session is organized by The Earth Needs Love. Let me introduce the platform to you. The Earth Needs Love is a youth-led organization that encourages, awares, and empowers youth and general public. Solomon, I will take your response in a few minutes. Great session. Thank you so much. That empowers youth and general public to work for key thematic areas, that is environment, climate, and sustainable development. So this is the short introduction of 10L. It is actually a youth-led organization. We have the host here. She is the founder of The Earth Needs Love. We are great to have her here. We are thankful for her to organize such an amazing session. Then we have PYBN. PYBN stands for Pakistan Youth Biodiversity Network. Now, PYBN is an offshoot of the Global Youth Biodiversity Network. It comes under the the PYBN comes under the GYBN. Now, GYBN is also a youth-led organization dedicated to promoting conservation and sustainability of biodiversity. And it is actually a platform that was made in action through the UN and the CBD, the Convention of Biological Diversity, and they runs to different countries and different chains, and every country has a chapter. And Pakistan PYBN is a chapter amongst all of the other chapters from across the globe. And what PYBN does is PYBN brings together young people from diverse backgrounds to raise awareness, engage in activities, and advocate for protection of rich biodiversity of the country. So talking about the Earth Needs Love and the Pakistan Youth Biodiversity Network, they have the almost similar kinds of goals and similar kinds of missions and ambitions. And just because today is World's Environment Day, they organized a session because the World's Environmental Day is supposed to be a day to raise the global awareness and promote action for protection of our environment. Why? Because we need to address the pressing issues, the pressing environmental issues. Like you can name above 100 even in this group. How many of you can name any environmental issue that is currently prevailing in Pakistan? Can you type it in the chat box? Because I want to know. No, Osama, you cannot turn on your camera. You can, but plastic dump, yes. In plastic dump in rivers, mass floods, NULA issues. I hope you can explain that, Laiba, because I'm hearing it for the first time. NULA issues. Wow, that. Heat waves, yes. Water pollution, yes. Nala, okay. Thank you. Sea pollution, plastic patches and the oceans around the globe. That is such an crucial issue. Massive plastic dump, overpopulation, earthquakes, floods, climate change, change in hydrological cycle. Yes, change in hydrological cycle, just like change in the monsoon patterns. Have you noticed that? Like I have noticed that personally myself, thinking of the time or the patterns of the monsoon and when they would occur and when they would not. But now looking at the things, they are actually changing. The time is changing, the patterns are changing. Changing in weather patterns, agriculture, crop issues. See, you can name hundreds of pressing environmental issues in the country and outside the country, because there are people from Nigeria and other countries. Bad water treatment, yes. Biodiversity loss, exactly. That is something we need to address too. Climate change again. So the World Environmental Day gives us the platform, to talk on the pressing environmental issues. Like how often do you talk on these issues? Barely, rarely, seldomly. So today is a great day to talk and interact upon these issues, to encourage people to protect and preserve our planet for future generations. And because of this, the theme for this year's annual World Environmental Day is Beat Plastic Pollution. Out of all these things, why are we talking about beating plastic pollution? Like the UN could just have given us another theme. Why did they just focus on beating the plastic pollutions? Are there less of other issues? If anyone would like to suggest the things you just discussed earlier, deforestation, biodiversity loss, pandemics like climate changes, that is, yes, no ma'am. Pandemics by climate changes, that is such a smart one. Deforestation, unhygienic water, you've talked about the problems. Can you suggest any solutions? Climate change and water pollution. Can you suggest any solution? Plant trees. Plastic accumulation will lead to long-lasting adverse effect. See, because plastic decays in hundreds and thousands of years, and dumping plastic won't help us. They can emit radiations. They can cause cancers. They can lead to the death of land and marine animals. Use degradable plastic instead. Yes, very true. The degradation is really slow. No, there are many issues, but this year's most motto is to beat plastic, leads to food chain, and have a long life. See, now let me explain what Michelle said. So, have you ever thought of eating something and throwing the plastic away in the dumpster or maybe the trash? What do you think it ends up in? Like I thought about it, and I read an article about it, and they say, let's say a chicken is pecking on the ground and she's searching for a food, and the chicken pecks on the plastic and she ingests it, and then she is slaughtered, and then you get to eat that chicken. So it continues in the food chain. She got it from the waste. You ate that chicken, and now it's in your body. It's in the form of microplastic. And how dangerous are microplastics? You can't even imagine about their detrimental effects that they have on our health, that they have on our body, that they have on our biological cycles, pathways that runs within our bodies. And if they cause damage or to one of the pathways, all of the other linked pathways can suffer brutally. And it continues. See, the fish eats the plastic, you eat the fish, or it is eaten by another animal and another animal, and it continues in the food chain, and you don't cannot get it out of the food chain. So how many times do you think you've eaten something that would contain plastics? See, that's thoughtful. All of the plastic is ingested in the form of microplastics and in the body of see, that is what I'm talking about. Before adoption of any measure, we should take an oath to ourselves that no any change without firm determination. And that is Muhammad Salim. That is a beautiful solution. And I think lack of determination is also a problem of the Pakistani people and the Pakistani government. How many times have you been consistent and determined in a work? Salim, this question is specifically for you. How many times have you been determined and consistent in your work or any path that you choose or any task that you would do? Because I am not. If I talk about myself, I would rate myself a 6 out of 10. I am determined in the beginning. When I see things aren't adding up, I just lose my motivation. And how many of you face the same? Almost every one of us. We should use alternative to plastics like glass, platinum, silicone, beeswax coated clothes, natural fiber cloth, wood, bamboo, pottery, and other ceramics. Nisaf, that is such an amazing message because people would get to know that there are more alternatives that we can think of to plastic, and the only problem is we need to cut off plastic from our lives. There are many suggestions in the mentimeter.com: environmental awareness, dematerialization, severity, climate change, add other material, proper management, law and policies, green business, that is my favorite one, ecopreneurship, green entrepreneurship, that is such an amazing thing to do. So yeah, we had a great interaction and a discussion, but just due to a few technical issues, the speaker couldn't join, but that is still okay with us because we are still having a great time. What you all can do is, because I see a lot of people in the meeting, you can mark your attendance. The attendance form is shared. Let the host reshare the attendance form again. Can you please reshare the attendance form again? So you have to fill the attendance form because as mentioned in the advertisement, that if you attend all of the sessions today, we have 2 more sessions today, and we have, I think, 2 sessions tomorrow, and you will receive a award, a different certificate. So we hope that you attend all of the sessions. Just because the speaker is having technical issues, she couldn't join. We waited for quite a long time. We had our discussions. Let me go through a few messages. Solution is realizing the need and importance of earth. That is true. And I think we have the earth needs love here. That clearly the name shows that the earth really is demanding for love, and we need to give our love in, because we have taken a lot from the earth, and it's our time to give it back, because we have just one earth. We don't have other earths, or we cannot just go and live on Mars, and then we can do the same thing to Mars, and then go to other planets, because that is almost impossible. You have just one earth, so you should be realizing the fact that you have nowhere to go but earth. Education is very important from early age. If people don't change behavior, there is no end of plastic. That is greatness of, because one thing that I proposed in a meeting before was that when you raise a child with such etiquettes and such understanding and knowledge, and when he grows up, that behavior is you say coded in his DNA, then like he would do the things that you have taught him, because behaviors over a long time are saved the way they are. But the problem with us is that we think if he has thrown the wrapper, koi baat nahi, bachcha hai, seekh jayega. But the thing is, we end up growing up and we don't realize that thing. We should be teaching our children from a very young age, so when they grow up, they don't have to be taught again and again and again, and they should look for their environment. Because when you look at the Western countries, they have taught them these things in schools, in like the paternal trainings, and they do these things. We don't practice such things. We should ban plastic, whereas we control plastic which is present in the environment. Yes, you need to cut off the plastic in the future use, and you need to think of ways of recycling or reusing them, the plastic that have been dumped or are present in the environment. Also, turn on your cameras, because you will take a few pictures. Yes, you can share your LinkedIn if you want to. We need to realize what we provide to Earth. We'll receive it back after optimum level, and we have crossed that limit. Yes, that is why the Earth Overshoot Day exists. You know, if you haven't heard about it, you can just go and search about it. Earth Overshoot Day, and then you'll know how are we exhausting the Earth, and how are we exhausting the resources, and we have crossed the limits like a lot. So you can turn on your cameras, because I see only Abdul Rahman has opened his cameras. Okay, there are a few more people who have turned on their cameras. We encourage you to open your cameras. You can upload the picture on your LinkedIn. After that, you'll receive it in the email. Mariam, are there plenty of people with cameras on?
Yeah, I'm taking the photos. So just turn on the camera. And if you're comfortable, of course, if you're comfortable, turn on your camera. And I'm taking the photo in the next 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And thank you so much, everyone. Also, I would like to mention that after ending this session, we are having another session in 10 minutes, and you are encouraged to join that session as well, because for each session you will be awarded a participation certificate. But the people who will attend all the sessions, all of the whole series, they will be awarded a special award, a plastic warrior award. So please do join all the sessions, and get on the journey of learning and unlearning about plastic. And thank you so much, everyone who participated, and thank you so much for your key insights. Though we had technical issues with the speaker, but you people killed it, and you were awesome. Everyone was great. and it was such a great learning experience. Thank you so much, everyone. I have shared the link in the chat to mark your attendance, and I'm going to share it again. And you can mark your attendance and you can leave this meeting. And after 10 minutes, you can rejoin and see you again. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Noor. You were the incredible host today. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. I hope you all had a great session. I'm sorry for the issues from the side of the speaker.
Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You all can mark your attendance, please. Just make sure you have done that before leaving.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Noor.
The session was very informative.
Thank you so much. Again, I would say mark your attendance before leaving.
Okay. Ciao, no, ciao.
Bye. For all the participants who are still in the meeting, this session is officially over because due to some issues, our speaker couldn't join, and you all can leave the session, the meeting room.
Yeah, but if they want to stay, because we are going to start the other session in the next 8 minutes, they can stay here. They can have a drink and they can have some water, but they can stay. So you're not required to leave the session. You can stay here and attend the next session we are having in next 8 minutes.
Yeah, that would be more convenient for everybody.
Yeah. So just we are taking a pause of 8 minutes. You can grab some tea or water for yourself and we will continue.
This session can never ever be forgettable because every participant interacts with others.
It is when you get to a session, you interact and you network, and people won't forget it.